Remembering my sister's death, the sister that I follow, it is a tragedy that when my sister died, my mother's firstborn, whom I follow, I was my mother's secondborn. It is quite a tragedy that the person whom a lot of people were suspecting to have killed my sister tried to kill me this year. Tried to kill me in March this year. On one hand, some few neighbors, some few friends, some few relatives said that this lady had killed my sister, and nobody defended her more than me. I defended her vehemently. Licha ningejua several years later she would try to kill me. I'll try as much as possible to be clear how this murderer, supposedly murderer, attempted to murder me. But the most important thing, as a former student of CID Training School South Sea, we ask ourselves the motive. Why did she want my sister dead? And why did she want me dead? In criminal law, when you prove that there is a killing, you have to prove the motive. Looking at us, looking at my sister, who could not be called a rich person, looking at myself, who cannot be called a rich person, there is only one conclusion one has. And the conclusion is that these people, who knows, these people may be devil worshippers. Because how do you want just to kill somebody who is not your enemy, and in fact who is your relative? You want to kill a person who is your relative and who is your friend, if I may say so. The only explanation I can say is what people say, that Illuminati and devil worshippers, usually you are told to kill somebody, and you have to kill somebody whom you share DNA. That is the only explanation I have. Now, let me start with what started first. How my sister died, holistically. And then I'll tell you how I was supposed to die. One, my sister had a stroke. She was taken to Coast Provincial Hospital, which today is called, which even previously used to be called Makadara. She was treated and she was set free to go and recuperate at home. Then this relative of ours boarded a vehicle all the way to Mombasa. Imagine my sister has been attended to at Coast Provincial Hospital. She had not healed. She had not healed. Sorry, I'm talking with a lot of emotions. She had not healed, but was still recuperating at home. Then this relative came all the way from Nairobi to Mombasa. And she insisted on taking my sister, boarding a plane all the way to Nairobi. Medical personnel said no. Since my sister, whom I followed, had high blood pressure and such issues, and she was weak, it was not recommended for her to board a plane. That was the decision of doctors. No, in her condition and with her history, if she would have got cured, then she would have said, no, I'm taking her to Nairobi for better medication. Then she dragged my sister via road. Imagine being driven from Mombasa to Nairobi. Was it really necessary? At that time, I saw that it was an expression of love. But right now, I got a feeling that an Illuminati had gotten an opportunity to shed blood. So, but you see, they were very close. They were very close. In fact, I dare say that that was my sister's closest friend and closest relative ever, more than all of us combined. So we approved that, knowing how close they were. Then she was driven on road all the way to Nairobi. You see, if somebody is sick and being driven for all that long distance, well, let me not go there. Somebody gets tired and whatever, even for somebody who is not sick, traveling from Mombasa to Nairobi by road is a safe taxi. Then she came to Nairobi. She was now being shuttled between St. Mary's Hospital, Kibra, and Kenyatta National Hospital. Imagine being anapelekwa huku na anapelekwa huku. Imagine somebody who Coast Provincial Hospital, if Coast Provincial Hospital would not be in a position to treat her, Coast Provincial Hospital would have said, why don't you go? They would refer her to Mombasa. But this relative of ours is the one who decided solo to take my sister all the way to Nairobi. And in Nairobi, was being shuttled between St. Mary's Hospital, Kibra, and Kenyatta National Hospital. Then she continued that way. There is a day that she had a second stroke. There is a day she had a second stroke while inside the house of this so-called friend, stroke relative. And it is because she had a stroke in that place and whatever. Some relatives, stroke friends, stroke neighbors and whatever, said that they were not sure. No, they were saying that this person is the one who killed my sister. Using my calculation that I got from CID training school, looked at it and said, let emotions not be. And how can she kill my sister if my sister is her closest relative and closest friend? That is how I reasoned that. And I quite a number of people, I convinced more than 66%, 2/3 of the people I convinced them. But there are others who would just say, who just agreed with me, but you could see they are agreeing with me because they did not have points to say so. So, but the story here was, we do not know what this lady fed your sister. The story was, she fed your sister something which activated the second stroke. Now, we spent so many years that this year, I was just in my house minding my own business, when the lady OCS called me on phone. She called me on phone, the local OCS, who is a lady. She called me on phone, told me that she wanted to consult me something. I said, what is it that you want me to consult me? Then I remembered, because I usually tell police officers never ever to talk anything on phone, because even in 1984, we had systems of wiretapping. Remember, Wajakoya was an expert in wiretapping. So I told her, is it something that we can talk on phone? The OCS, the lady OCS told me, no, no, no. Where are you? I told her where I was. It was a bit far. Said, can you look for a border person can you look for a border person? I will pay upon arrival. Lucky enough, I did not get a border person. I had to use a tuk-tuk. Used my 30 bob, reached a place called Myers. Then from there to BP, there was another tuk-tuk there, which bypasses the police station. I saw the tuk-tuk were taking long to be filled in, and the police station was near. So I just ran in good faith, thinking that maybe there's something that Madam OCS could not solve and which needed my attention. And let me tell you, I'm lucky that I did not get a tuk-tuk person, a border person. If I would have gotten a border person, and the way rumors go, that day border fellow would have announced to the whole world what would have happened. It is unfortunate that Madam OCS even was looking for a way to embarrass me. I don't know what this relative, I don't know, because she died, let's say 6 months before that incident. I'm very sure Madam OCS never knew the existence of this relative of mine. But currently, she could even go to an extent of being part of the plot, and I meant a lot to her. Leave alone even the professional thing, because when she called me, I felt that it was a professional idea that she wanted to share. But even on a personal level, she was, and I still consider her still to be my friend. But I don't know, I have not said she was given money, but I don't know what language she was convinced to be part of the plan. So I went there, I was looking for her, people jumped on me. In Kiganjo, people are taught, when you arrest somebody, there are 3 things you do. First of all, you identify this is the person you are arresting, and not a twin sibling of the person. You may arrest somebody and find that this is the twin brother or twin sister of the person you want to arrest. So, first of all, I identify this is the person you're looking for. 2, identify yourself. Even up to now, 9 months from the time of the incident, that fellow, he was talking with a coastal accent. Either he's a Mijikenda or he's a Mkamba from Chani. He talks Kiswahili with a strong coastal accent. Even to this time, if you ask me, who was that fellow? He never introduced himself to me. He never introduced himself to me by name. 3rd, you are told the offense you have committed. The person arresting you is supposed to clarify that you are you James JI-TENGE? Yes. Okay, I am Inspector Raphael Saya from Gigiri Police Station. That is 2. Then the 3rd thing is, I am arresting you for ABCD. The person, just after knowing it was me, he never told me his name. He never told me his rank. I don't even know his rank up to this time. And most importantly, he did not tell me why he was arresting me. I was lucky that I told my spouse that the Madam OCS has just called me. Let me go and see her. And then he said, can't you have supper? And what? No, I'll see her and then come and have supper. That was on a Monday evening. Madam herself, for reasons known to her, imagine if I would have gone there with a motorbike, telling the motorbike that Madam OCS will pay you. That fellow would find that Madam OCS, she had even taken off. I don't know whether she was, alikuwa na aibu what she was doing. She had taken off. But these people stayed there until Madam came back. And I told Madam OCS that anybody can complain about anything about me. That is okay. but it is my right to be told what offense I have done, I'm suspected of being doing. She didn't tell me. She just kept quiet. She just kept quiet. An OCS in Nairobi. She should have even told those officers, or she would have taken the OB, read the OB, and said that it is written here that you did ABC. She never told me the mistake I did. Then from there, my phone was taken, my pictures were taken in handcuffs, and it was sent by WhatsApp. Then suddenly, within 30 minutes, my phone call started ringing. As an intelligence officer, I've saved names and nicknames. I've saved names after nicknames. So I would be told so and so is coming, so and so. I mean, your phone, so and so has rang. Who is that person? Imagine, licha ya kwa, I was not even told what I've been arrested for. Two, when somebody is arrested, even those days when we did not have mobile phones, you used to be told, even those days when we used to have mobile phones, you used to be told to go to the coin booth and ring your people and tell them why you have been arrested and you are in such. Even those people, my viewers who have been arrested before, when a police officer arrests you, he tells or she tells those people around you that mtu wako tunampeleka Riruta police station. But me, the only way that my people would know were two ways. My spouse had told her, I'm just checking on Madam Moses, I'm coming. And then two, the lady who killed my sister had spread the pictures and whatever all over. Within 30 minutes, everybody was knowing that I've been arrested, and phone calls started coming. And I told them I cannot tell them who the person. So they made sure that instead of making sure, they were supposed to make sure that I called at least 2 or 3 people. This is what police are supposed to do. They give you your phone. You call. Do people know that you have been arrested? No. Okay, can you call 2 or 3 people using your phone? But instead of giving me an opportunity to tell my people that I've been arrested or I'm in such and such a police station, they did not. They did not. And they even avoided me telling people. Then from there, I was whisked from one police station to another one, which is at quite a distance, and placed there. It is only one lady who rang me, a niece of mine, and I told them that that is my lawyer. When they had the lawyer, they said, okay, we tell her that we are arresting you for computer miss. And it is good that my niece, when she had it, when I was given time to, I was told talk to her, but the phone has to be on speakerphone so that we know. Then she asked me, have they told you why they have arrested you? I said, no, they have not. Then they started whispering to me, cyber, misuse of cyber. Then I told her that. Then she said, don't write any statement, don't do anything, just be that way. That is the only person. Meanwhile, my spouse stayed in the house till morning. She knew that when I left the house, I went to see Madam Moses. So the first thing she did was to go to the police station and ask Madam Moses to say, my spouse left the house stating that he was coming to see you. He didn't come. Do you know why? Madam Moses told her she doesn't know. Ajui. And talked rudely and said, kwani mimi ndio nachungaga mabwana ya watu? And you see how serious it is. When this is the problem now we have with women leaders. They say that we don't respect. Okay, there is the Tanzanian thing, that we don't respect them at when a woman is in authority, people, ABCD. Now look at this case. My spouse just asks a simple question. That her spouse with me, when I left the house, I said I was going to see Madam Moses. Now, Madam Moses, could you be knowing where? Because my spouse knew that between our house and the police station, maybe I was marked. And then she answered rudely that, am I I'm not a, now she talks as a woman. Now it becomes, you see, this is a problem where now it is a women interpretation. When my spouse went to talk to the OCS, she went to talk to the OCS as an officer. And you see what does the OCS, who is a woman, answer back? Says, kwani mimi ndio naekaga mabwana za watu? And then you expect people to respect. They say women, when they are in authority, people don't respect them. In Kenya Constitution, somebody is taken to court within 24 hours, unless there is a holiday or a weekend. I was not taken to court within 24 hours. I was taken round circles. There is CCTV, there is the tracking, whatever. I was taken to DCI lab. There is CCTV there showing me being taken there. Now, why should I be taken to DCI lab? From there, I'm taken to Milimani. Milimani, I'm not taken to court. My son is taken to an ATM. The ATM, Equity ATM, which can show how much was, and even the Milimani local. And then I'm taken to a hotel next to and forced to buy food. You see, the CCTV at Magereza House can show those detectives. Take Frog Magic me too. At it is lunchtime, I have to take them to a kiosk there. I go there, take them to the kiosk there. They eat, and M-Pesa, my M-Pesa is the one which is paid. And you see, when you go to the police to report the OCS and the detectives, you are told, unajua hawa ni watu wako na watoto na watu wanalisha family. Sasa ukiwashtaki hivi na wafutwe. That is what I'm being told. But then, emotions are taking me far, and it's a long story. I stayed for, I was released on police bond, police cash bail, on after 41 hours, 30 minutes. And you remember, by the time I was going to see the Madam OCS, my spouse had said, why don't you eat first before you go? I said, no, see, just consultation, then I'll be back. So it was a time I was supposed to eat. And in those 41 hours, the only food I was given were, of course, 41 is more than 24 hours. So there were 2 occasions when I was given tea, a cup of tea, and 2 slices. So it was 2 cups of tea and 4 slices of bread. But after staying there for 15 hours without eating, I was taken to the detective's office, where the so-called complainant, imagine after 15 hours of having been arrested. You know, when you are arrested, there are supposed to be a complaint, there are supposed to be a file, the file has got to be investigated, and it has to be found that there. But even the so-called complainant had not even 15 hours after I had been arrested, the so-called complainant had not even recorded her statement after I had been arrested 15 hours. At the time when the file is supposed to be ready and I'm supposed to be taken to court, I've been switched from one police station to another. The complainant had not even reported. Now I was being harassed so as to agree to a certain, what do you call, the so-called crime I had committed was a crime that somebody should have been taken to us, should have been sued in a civil case. Now they were trying to look for a way, whereby they would squeeze it for me to agree to a criminal charge, so that she and her boyfriend could write a statement of that nature. The so-called investigation officer, I was arrested on Monday at 8 p.m. On Tuesday, or let's say Wednesday, at 3 a.m. on Wednesday, 3 a.m. Safaricom can verify that, you know, they had placed me in the DCI office for long, trying to squeeze something out of a stone. And then It reached 3 a.m. and Safaricom can verify that the investigation officer rang the boyfriend of this fellow at night at 3 a.m. and told him, you have to come back. That is something that Safaricom can produce, that you can come and rewrite your statement because the statement you have written cannot fit the plan of things. But that is not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that the lady who killed my sister, I now have proof, or I've convinced myself beyond reasonable doubt that she killed my sister. Not only did she kill my sister, but she was going to kill me. Because after I'd stayed, I told you, it was time when I was supposed to have my supper. And then I told my spouse, let me just go and see Madame Osies and come back quickly. Then that is when I'll have supper. If I would have known, I would have eaten supper so that I go there, but I didn't. That was 8 p.m. The following day at 3 p.m., with only a cup of tea and 2 slices, I was very hungry. I was taken to the detective's room. The so-called complainant, whom they were now toying around looking for an offense to convict me. First of all, I don't know if anybody can convince me that I have to be harassed when she's there. So I went through several harassment here and there. And then she came with food, 2 plates of ugali and 2 plates of cabbage. So the detectives gave me that. And you know the way the food is, it comes in 2 plates. So those are 4 plates. 1 plate, no, is it 8? There was 2 plates of ugali and then 2 plates of covering the ugali. Those are 4. Then there is 2 plates of cabbage and 2 plates of covering the cabbage. So there was that food, 2 plates, double ration. And you know, anybody under custody, they are underfed, but me, I was being overfed. So I was told to eat, and I went and washed my hand. Just when I was about to start eating is when I was about to start eating is when I noticed that it is cabbage. I don't eat cabbage. I stopped eating cabbages. Is it 1969 or 70? Around there. So I was being forced that you eat that ugali or you see. I told them, it is me who suggested that you can take your pistols and shoot me, but I cannot eat something that I stopped eating in the 70s. I have screenshots of a member of the JI-TENGE family. That was 3 p.m. By 5 p.m. that day, a member of the JI-TENGE family from all the way in Western was talking of how I had survived a small assassination. And he was even saying that he has a video. Imagine being in an interrogation room. Allegedly, the complainant is recording on video what I am going through. And I was being forced to eat ugali. Had it not been that I stopped eating, had it not been that I stopped eating cabbage in the, is it 69 or 70? I would have just eaten, and that one would have provoked. Remember, my sister, whom I follow, died after having a meal in this lady's house. Now here is another place where the same lady is bringing a meal to me. You know, there was a plan which was being made. Every time people in the cells were to be given food, I would conveniently be removed. That, oh, we are going to interrogate him. So I come back when they have already eaten. I go back when they have already eaten. So it happened that I was so hungry, I did not eat. Actually, for the period of 41 hours, 30 minutes, I only took 2 cups of tea and 4 slices of bread. So it was a plan for me to be very hungry and eat that. And then a heart attack would come. I didn't know that until a member of the JI-TENGE family in Western placed it on social media. And I have a screenshot where he was telling a lady member that I have a recording of him being force-fed And if you want, I can send you the video through direct mail. Not only that, what I can say is that what that member of the JI-TENGE family said was that, you know, let me talk to you as an NIS officer. An NIS officer says, training is that if someone talks about something that is completely lies, or almost all of it never happened, don't be worried. Don't worry anything. For example, somebody says, oh, you woke up and you went to Nakuru and you have been 10 years, you have never been to Nakuru. Don't worry. That is, but if someone tells you something that is 52% true, then be worried and start saying somebody must have disclosed it. Now, if this member of the JI-TENGE talks of the trick that had been planned, and he was saying that I can, so you can see, the same lady whom my sister had a last meal with and got a stroke, the one who went all the way to Mombasa to bring my sister so that she feeds him on the last meal, is the same lady who took me all throughout and made sure that nobody on my side knew that I had been abducted, and she bought food. And it is only by God's grace that I don't eat cabbage. Okay, cabbage when mixed with the githeri I eat. But cabbage even mixed with meat, and I have to eat any other meal, no. So when ugali was brought and I was being, it is only by God's grace that I do not. Well, Madam Piggy, I wish you well. I wish you well. Saying that you are an Illuminati or anything, I talked it out of the conviction that we are not rich. We are not even as rich as you are. Even a quarter. What you get per month is more than what I get per 2 years. I am not a threat to you. I have not done you anything. Or my sister, who was your closest friend, had the last, in fact, after eating food cooked by you, got a second stroke. Now you bring double food to me and you stay there and you start recording. You must be evil. Now, nikikula hivi alafu tena nianze kupata stroke and you're some of us, even Dracula movies, we don't watch. We don't watch Dracula movies. But then the Dracula movies, there are people who are acting, but you just want to see your blood relative die. You not one, you wanted a second one.